And let me tell you exactly what it says here. This is so cool.
Yeah, no,
It says, a guest destination from Ann Wooten Taylor.
hmm
Okay,
yeah,
you're alive.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
and
let
that
me
is so
do it.
cool.
I know. I don't know what you did to allow me to do that now, but before I couldn't share the video. I had to wait on you to share it and then share it out to everybody else. But so
I
no, it
have,
works.
and and the greatest thing about this is that now we can start using this on Saturdays.
Yes, yes. It would be so nice to be able to connect with the
Oh,
audience again on Saturdays because I do miss that. I do.
oh, wow, that is so cool. That is so
Mhm.
cool. And see now, I normally when we do that, say for instance, I have another artist or a co-host or a host uh, that's on, I can put them on the credential list, right, along with my
Right,
other pages.
right.
But I normally have to do it from here. I
Mhm.
have no idea what you did, but you did something there, and
All I
Andre didn't
know
help you.
is it says stream to your audience, and I clicked on it. Now, when I did
Whoa.
that before, I got kicked out, and you had to let me back in. It was horrible, but this time it worked. So I don't know.
Okay. Well, hey, Mike is back. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Ann did something pretty neat, and you can do the same thing. I'm looking at right now through Facebook. She's able to share with her audience, and boy, we're gonna have to figure out how to get you on too. Say,
It
like I
said at
said,
the top in
generally,
the corner, it says stream to your audience.
okay. Where
So that
exactly where is that, Ann?
above the chat, where it says private chat, comments, recording, up in that area, it said stream to your audience. And so I clicked on it and it let me stream.
Oh, did you click on recording?
No, private chat, comments, recording, it's above those words.
Okay,
So,
I don't have it on my screen.
well, that's because you are already doing it.
Okay. Oh, thanks, Ann. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
She can be such a smarty sometimes. Hey, Mike, do you see what she's talking about? I can't hear you, Mike. You're on mute.
Muted or something. Can't hear you.
Okay, how's this?
Yeah,
Okay,
better.
you're
Okay,
very good.
so yeah, it's above private chat and comments and recording. Right above that, there's a blue strip that says "Stream this to your audience."
Exactly.
So I've got it on
Okay.
mine, and I think you're right. William doesn't have it because he's already streaming.
Right.
Okay.
There. See, it's not me being a bratty little sister. It's me being right.
She's trying to educate you, William.
You know, both days can be true.
They're not mutually exclusive.
You know, if you took your act right pills, you'd be a little more acceptable as far as people giving you information. There,
I already
Mister.
told you I ain't taking no doggone act right
Oh, I
pills.
thought he was talking to me for a minute.
Oh no, Ann, never.
No.
I don't want the wrath of Ann coming down on me.
Yeah,
Contempt of court.
I'm not.
You're
I'm not.
contempt.
I'm not taking
What?
it.
You're not taking
Guess what? Guess what? Just like you have these
Obvious.
anti-vaxxers out here, I'm an anti-act right pill taker.
Oh, well, that we believe. That
That
we
explains a
believe.
lot, doesn't it, Ann?
It does.
Explains an
It
awful lot.
does.
Well, good.
It
I'm,
does.
I'm glad it does. I'm glad it does.
I'm
Ain't
glad
doing it.
that we're so spaced out so we don't get the virus.
You say what virus is that?
We're socially distanced, literally. So we can't get
Are you
we
talking about
can't get your bad behavior virus.
yeah, the anti-act right virus?
Right, right.
Okay.
The wild will syndrome.
Right.
You dog.
Wild Will
I wear it
syndrome.
like
I
a
love
badge
it.
of honor. I wear.
What?
I refuse to act right. Nope, ain't doing it.
We noticed.
Not
We noticed.
okay. Well, good. I'm glad we settled that part.
No.
Hey, getting back. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do this. Let's do this. I'm going to. Let's finish our thought because before we left, I want to. Let's take about maybe 3 or 4 minutes. I want Mike and then Ann to finish your thought because we were talking about how can you tell in a courtroom or if you're at a police station or let's say you're dealing with a friend or loved one or family member. How can you tell if they're lying or not? Now,
Well,
like Ann pointed out, which I'm going to, I do accept this, that some people get nervous under certain conditions. Okay. If you're in a relationship and you're getting real nervous, there might be an issue there. Okay. If you're in the courtroom, I can understand.
William, you've never met anyone who set your heart aflutter, who made you lose your words, because or take your breath away when you see her. Really? Come on
I
now.
didn't say that,
What that's exactly what you just said. You
but
said that something
but
was wrong.
I'm still always cool though.
Oh my word. Okay. Pimp Daddy to
Oh,
the side.
oh, oh, now see, see now, no, Ann, no, you're not gonna get away with that. You're not gonna get away. See, you,
I confess that I took William's breath away one time because he didn't know what I was. Yeah, I know we've told the story before, but we had some dinner, then we went across the parking lot to another place, a little sports bar, and he didn't know that I had a whole DJ set up there, and I'd
Wow.
already been asking about songs and music and what he likes to sing in church and whatever else, and I fired up this whole system while he was talking to other people. And then I got on the microphone and called him up and had him sing. I took his breath away. Tell the truth, William. Tell the truth.
See there,
I know.
William.
I got
You
it.
can
No,
understand that.
no, he didn't take my breath away. I felt tricked. I said, okay. Now,
Well,
both of you always know. Both of you know. I've never met a microphone that I didn't fall in love with. Okay, so I didn't turn it down. Okay,
so
but
not
he
a
got me.
person who
And
you falling in love with. It's a thing. Okay.
oh, and look, and okay. You see, the way because Mike and I, we're sitting there, we're having dinner, and we're talking business and things like that. I had no idea that he was interrogating me. Okay, I had no idea that he was asking me questions about.
Interviewing. I was just interviewing you. I wasn't
Yeah,
interrogating.
I thought we were having a conversation because
Mhm.
I knew he had hinted at that time. I had no idea that he was into music as deep as he is. And
Wow.
ladies and gentlemen, if you're in the Southern California area and you need, especially in the San Bernardino area, Inland Empire, with its
Riverside
Redlands,
County, Inland Empire, San Bernardino County, all of that. I cover all the way out to like Palm Springs on one end, and then all the way out to LA on the other end. So yeah, I have no problem
Wow.
doing it. I do
yeah,
weddings and bar mitzvahs, and
yeah,
quinceañeras, and
birthday
celebrations of life.
parties. What if parties? It could be anything party, okay,
Mhm.
whatever it is. And I tell you what, you want to talk to Mike, and I'm gonna have Mike give out his information, okay? It could be a karaoke situation, you know. You could set up a party like that. He does so many different things, and he gives a lot of his time away. And if you
I
want
do.
somebody that's honest, professional, and that will show up with the right equipment and show up on time, okay,
Early, I will show up early, guaranteed.
guarantee. You want to call Mike. Mike, how can people get in contact with you?
So the best way to do this is my email, which is because of this station. So my best way to, excuse me, let me back up here. Mike.studiowbuzz at
Wow.
gmail.com. So Mike.studiowbuzz at gmail.com. So
Absolutely,
yes.
absolutely, absolutely.
And if you just want to come visit me when I'm playing, I just did Friday night. I did Saturday day and Saturday night. So I've done 3 gigs in 2 days so far.
Wow.
Amazing,
Wow.
amazing.
And
And
I love doing what I do.
he says that he's retired.
Well, he is. Now he's having fun.
He's not retired.
This is look, he that retired from being a police officer. That was his job. This was probably a side hobby, side hustle that has now turned into a fun thing for him to do during retirement. And the plus side is he gets to make money doing it. What's wrong with that?
Well, then that's not retirement.
I've
Oh,
done
my
it for
word.
30 years, and this is a labor of love. So Ann is absolutely right.
No,
See,
no,
see,
no,
I'm right
no,
again.
no. You can agree all you want. I don't care. Okay, I don't care. I don't have to agree.
I
Now
don't
you
think
know what
that
this
a
show is.
retirement means don't do anything at all, ever.
That's what most people think retirement means.
And that's why they die early. That's not what that
I,
means.
I
The
agree.
rocking chair will kill you.
Look here, I'm telling you. I'm going-
Right.
oh my goodness. So anyway, we were talking about reactions to certain things, and I
Oh,
have
my
to agree with you.
reaction to
And
what
let's
is
get back to you 1 second, then I'll go back to Mike.
oh, my
You're in the
bad. Go
courtroom.
ahead.
You're in the courtroom, and somebody's. It doesn't seem exactly right. They're sweating. They're speaking rapidly, uh, incoherently sometimes, and things of the nature. As a judge, and giving them the benefit of the doubt, which I believe that you do in most cases or a lot of cases, do you say, talk to the witnesses, wait a minute, hold, do you need some water? Okay. Do you need to just take a deep breath, okay, because you are inaudible or we're not understanding. I understand you might be a little nervous. Is that the case? I mean, is that your approach or
Well,
something similar to that?
when I was a trial attorney and I had to deal with witnesses who were on the stand in that particular capacity, because that's all face to face. Then I would talk to my witnesses beforehand, and just let them know when you have to say something that is detrimental to your case. Look, things happen. It just, part of life that not everything's going to go your way all the time. If you fight the answer, sounds like you're trying to dodge it, be evasive, or, flower it up, you're going to come across as lying. Be
Mm,
credible about the good as well as the bad. You just say it. Just be honest about it. Um, those people who want to try to hide or cover up something, I'm asking you this question because I probably already know the answer to this question. So why do yourself the even worse disservice of being shady about it? You know what I'm saying? Now,
mm,
the hearings that I preside over now are primarily done by phone. So I don't get the luxury of looking at the person to determine their credibility, but I do get to hear them, and I get to look at any evidence for or against what they are claiming is their is their version of events. Very often, you get everything lined up in such a way that, okay, it looks like what you're telling me is the truth. Other times you can hear people talking and lying, and they're lying as they talk. It doesn't You don't even have to have any other evidence. You just know this is a lie. you know and my kids, Aunt Katie said they start to stutter. Some people stutter. You're right, and some people stutter when they get nervous. So again, it's one of those things where you look at everything. I,
mm.
I remember this one particular time, somebody didn't show up for a hearing, and a family member showed up on their behalf and just started going on and on, telling me, this story, and then later on said, "You know what? I'm trying to change my life. I told the Lord I was going to stop lying." None of that stuff was true. So well, thank you for being honest. But you did, and she was one of those cool lies. She was almost convincing.
Do you
but
mean, and do you mean she had a revelation right in the middle of the lie?
right. Praise the
Oh,
Lord, for
oh
being for
my God.
conviction. But
This is too funny.
it's one of those things where you like Mike was
This is
saying,
too funny.
you hear people on a regular basis, and so you get attuned, even more so than in regular life, to what a lie sounds like and what the truth sounds like. um and it didn't work out well, for AJ and Alex, because they try to tell me stuff, and I'm like, okay, you do realize that your mother's job all day every day is to determine whether somebody is telling me a lie or the truth. That's all I do every day figure out
Oh.
whether who's lying and who's not.
And so
No,
you
I
got
couldn't.
you got that BS meter that Mike was talking about.
you know.
Yeah,
Ah,
I completely agree with Andy in that there's the totality of who of what you're looking for as a judge or law enforcement, or if you want to get the truth from somebody. There's that whole pie, and that pie is cut into different slices. And you have to look at their normal demeanor. You have to look at, are they just a nervous person? Are they really upset because they're in court? Are they really upset because they're being accused of a crime? You have to look at the totality of all of it and then sift all this through your BS filter that
Right.
we develop. And it took me years to develop it to the point where I became very good at it, and actually was pushed into an investigator position.
Mhm.
But yeah, it does take some intuition, does take some
Right.
mother's intuition, and but
mm,
yeah, there's the totality, the whole pie.
right,
Right.
right. You know, I tell you what. Speaking of mother's intuition, uh, I grew up with a mother that had that. Okay,
Right,
And
right.
she had a spatula too.
look, not,
The
look,
bottom of her shoe.
not only that. Okay, I'm telling you, I was 6 years old.
Mhm.
Mm, mm, mm. And this was corporal punishment. It was corporal punishment because I told a lie about uh, me using my lunch money for candy money. Okay. And my mom asked me, where, yeah, we're on the way to the doctor's office. I told this story before. Okay. We're on the bus, y'all. And I'm reaching in my left pocket, and man, I'm just having a good time on the bus. And I'm eating this candy, man. It was so good. My mom asked me, I know how much money I gave you for lunch. Where did you get the money to buy the candy from? I said, I found it. Okay. So she got quiet. She,
Dropped from the heavens above.
she, she was quiet until we got to our destination. Before we got off the bus, she said, I'm going to ask you one more time. I knew I was busted then. I knew it.
Mhm.
I said, she didn't fall for this. She didn't fall
Nope.
for it. She said, where did you get the money for that candy? I said, Mom, she don't mom me. I said, I spent my lunch money. She dragged me off the bus. And
Wow.
after we got off the bus, just commenced to just beating the hell out of me. I said, oh, right, right downtown. Downtown.
Right.
I remember the place today. This was
Yes,
decades
sir.
ago. It was at 6th and Broad.
Tattooed on your brain, isn't it?
Yeah, he can't go there anymore.
It's tattooed on my butt. I'm telling you, just and so when we got home, my grandfather, he worked downtown, and he said, I was on Broad Street around 6th and Broad today, and I saw this woman beating up this little kid. And I'm sitting at
Not
the
whipping,
table,
beating up.
and my mom said, "What time was?" She said, "Oh, it was about 5 o'clock." She said, "That was me beating up him." And I said,
Wow.
"Lord,
Wow.
see, that was corporal punishment. That was uncalled for. That was
What was
uncalled.
uncalled for?
She could have gave me a time
She
out or
got your
something.
attention, didn't she?
I'll never forget it.
She
Uh,
took time out to beat your behind.
She got your attention.
hey, ladies and gentlemen, you see, I get no sympathy here
None.
with this panel at all.
Mm-mm.
Oh, so
No.
what did you call? Look, today, if you slap your child in public, you going to jail.
Yeah, that's called child abuse today. And depending on look, what state you're in, different states have different rules. But yeah, it's probably going to be child abuse, child abuse, especially a very young child. Um,
I saw this video. You guys may have seen it too. I don't have it at my disposal right now, but this child called a cop on his mom for
mm,
using a little corporal punishment,
mm,
And the police officer showed up and got the mom and the child outside on the porch. And so the child decides to tell his story. And I forgot what the child, uh, he said something smart to his mom or something like that. And she whooped his butt and he called the cops. And the cop says, "Oh, so what happened?" So he went and told his story and asked the mom, is that true?" She says, "Yeah."
Mm.
The cop said, "Come here, son." He says, "Look here. I don't blame your mom. And if you call me again, I'm gonna come back and whoop your butt myself."
That's a good cop. That is a good cop.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Say you
There's
waste say you
Yes.
wasting our time with this. Call us again.
Uh,
Okay. I'll guarantee you that that child will not pick up the phone and call the cops again on his mom.
well,
I'll guarantee you.
you telling them the truth because I used to work, do that type of work, dependency, neglect, child abuse, and I'll just tell my kids, okay, let me just be real honest with you. If you want to call somebody, you do that. You
Mhm.
need to understand that you're not little cute babies, so you probably are not gonna be in a daddy warbucks home like like you know that they put kids your age in shelters and group homes, and those children have very different lives from what you are used to. Those places are not like what you're used to. You will want to come home soon, and I'm not going to a parenting class. I'm not going to visitation. I'm not doing anything that's going to make this a quick return for you. If that's where you want to be, all right, because I know that I take very, very good care of you as the
Right.
Lord allows me to. And you're not going to act any kind of way in this house.
Right.
So
Hey,
it's different for different kids. Um, I tell folks all the time there's a difference between spanking a child who misbehaved and abusing
I was
a
abused.
child. William, we all know you.
Oh,
We all know that you won't take your acts right pills. So she didn't abuse you. She just did what she had to do.
are you serious?
there's a,
You were
there's a
on.
difference. There's a difference between abuse and discipline. And in
Yes.
in California here, you are allowed to spank your child with an open hand. You can't use
Mhm,
an object. It has to be below the waist, and you can't break the skin. So
mhm.
if you see anything that's beyond that, then that gets into the abuse side of things. But
Right.
things have changed so dramatically. Like when I started back in 1983 in law enforcement, and I caught kids doing something they shouldn't be doing. I understood that. I was a kid once, believe it or not, how old I am.
Mhm.
But we would take them home to mom and dad, and we'd knock on the door and we go, we caught little Susie or little Johnny doing this, and yada yada, and the parents would grab the kids. Thank you, officer. We've got it from here. Boom, which is
And
something probably Ann would do. But now, after I went through years, back back when it got to about the late '80s or so, things changed. You take little
Mhm.
Johnny or little Susie or Sally home, and you knock on the door. Hi, I'm Officer Ward. Da, da, da. Your son, daughter was doing this. She didn't do anything wrong, and
Wow.
they'd envelop the kid in their arms, hug them,
Mhm.
and go, my little angel didn't do anything wrong. You, ma'am, sir, you didn't even hear what I was trying to tell you
Right.
that we caught
Right.
them doing. They stole alcohol from the store or whatever it was. You didn't even want to listen to it. And no, they didn't do that, and they had no facts or evidence or clues to make a decision at all. So it changed from parenting to
Mhm.
lack
Right.
of parenting.
Exactly.
And I
Exactly.
see,
Absolutely.
and we're talking about mental health here and everything. Uh, I think our issues these days. I just got a couple of quick notes here. I think we have a lack of personal responsibility because the
Mhm.
Mhm.
parents don't demand that their children be responsible. And you demand
Mhm.
that your AJ and Alex are responsible. You demand that, and if they
Amen.
don't, they get disciplined. Uh,
Amen.
and kids today, in general, I'm not saying every child, but they everyone else, it's everyone else's fault.
That's
Mhm.
right.
They blame, they continue to blame. So you have a lack of discipline because, oh, little Johnny, Susan, they can do whatever they want. My little angels.
Mhm.
Well, they're not angels. So
Right.
they have a lack of discipline. They have a lack of morals. They have a lack of a personal accountability.
Mm,
They're not held responsible for anything anymore.
right.
And then and then, as I said earlier, the way parents treated their teens or their children before was appropriate discipline. As a parent, it's very important to balance love with appropriate discipline,
Right.
not
Right.
beating the hell out of a kid.
Right.
Appropriate discipline. In other words, the punishment, the judge, and the punishment must fit the crime. So
Exactly. Exactly.
there's my 2 cents for today's topic.
No, absolutely. As a matter of fact, we never really got into, and this happens a lot on the boomerang. We'll get into because we started off with something, a very, very a feel good story. We were talking about
Mhm.
AJ. We talking about Alex and these young men, and
Mhm.
we talked about how and my hats off to you and to Alex. I mean Andre, for rearing and bringing up such wonderful, wonderful young men.
Proper
Praise the
parenting.
Lord.
Oh, that's exactly right. And
God.
like along the lines that you were saying, Mike, parents today, they are so concerned about being a child's friend than being
Mm,
a child's parent.
mhm.
And if you are a parent that's going to protect your child at all costs, even knowing that your child is wrong, you are doing that child a disservice, a terrible disservice.
Right.
I'm your parent right now. You can learn to love me later.
Right. Right.
And,
Once you grow up and you understand life, then you can love me then. Right now I'm your parent and you're gonna do what I say, and I'm gonna
Exactly.
raise you properly so that you are not a leech on society, so that you are a productive member of society and that you know how
Mhm.
to act right. Sorry, I have to go back to act right.
Exactly.
So that you know how to act right. So that you know how to care for your fellow man and not just yourself and being a narcissist.
And the thing about it is,
when you say knowing how to act right, is that a dig, Mike?
of
No,
course.
I was no. I would never do such a thing, William. You know me.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Yeah,
Well, I
and
gotta say this one thing. People assume that parenting, that discipline means hitting a child, and any good parent will tell you that that is one of the things that happens the least in your household, and
Mhm,
and that's if you're doing it right. Folks, who
Just
are
talk to him.
mhm,
E exactly. That's the
No, serious.
thing
Just
that
talk to
you
him.
are that's the thing that you do most as a parent. You
mhm,
talk to your kids. You talk to your kids before something goes wrong. You talk to your kids when they do something wrong. You talk to your kids
mhm,
after they do something wrong. You talk to them on the beforehand in order to let them know, what's right and what's wrong. And then if they, break those particular rules that you've given them, then you talk to them again.
mhm.
um
I didn't get that.
if they escalate, you escalate. And but you continue to talk to them and continue to explain to them what's right and wrong. When they do something that you haven't discussed, this is a thing of first impression. So we're going to have a discussion about why what you did was wrong and what the consequences will be going forward if you ever do this again, unless it's something so egregious that common sense should have told you don't ever do that, and I'm going to have to get you right now. but
Yeah,
but
I
I mean,
agree.
that's the thing, the the crime, the punishment should fit the crime. But parenting, the Bible tells you this. I hate to hear people who claim that, Christians beat their kids. We don't, because if you are a Christian, the thing that the Bible tells you to do the most when it comes to parenting is talk to your children, teach your children. Yeah, it's true. A lot of Christians don't even know there's a scripture that says that, but the Lord tells you to talk to them even at night. Talk to them all the time, even when you are supposed to be asleep. The Bible says to talk to them. It's like, when do I get a break from talking to this child? But later on, it tells you, if the child doesn't listen to you when you are talking, what to do to save their lives, what to do to correct them. And God Himself is our Father. He is our model for being the best parent. He doesn't beat us every time we do something wrong. Does He allow life to, to beat our behinds when we do stuff from time to time? Yeah. But a lot of times, how many times has He gotten you out of something and you know you should have been in over your head in debt. You know somebody should have arrested you. You know that you should have gotten pregnant. You whatever the case may be, and He rescued you from that thing. So I take issue with people who think that we as Christians only know or are only taught to beat our children.
and
That's not
That's
true.
that's not
and
true, and that's not the model God sets for us either.
Right,
and
right.
lead through example.
That's
Right.
exactly right. Now I
Exactly.
Lead
tell
through
you,
example. Kids are
and one thing,
sponges.
yeah, one thing, Ann and Mike, my mom didn't do. Now she told you one time.
Right. Right.
It wasn't no continuous conversation. You
Nope.
didn't get a second chance to do the same thing. She told
Mm-mm,
you one time,
mm-mm,
and this is the thing that got me. She was screaming in your ear while she beating your butt. I said, "Women,
mhm,
hold it. Can't she do one? Good
mm-mm.
Lord,
It's
blowing up
worse when they stop and lecture you and then do it and then hit you again. Are you worst whipping I ever got was that kind.
Hey, whoa, whoa. And so, wow, I can't believe we are all the time here. It's just about, and the Eden as
Yes.
an Active Worship Ministries radio show and the Teens Talk Truth radio broadcast airs when?
Well, they both air on Saturdays. Eating as an Active Worship Ministries comes on at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time, right here on Studio W Buzz, and it's followed by the Teens Talk Truth radio show hosted by my favorite young men on the planet, my sons AJ and Alex Taylor. They come on at noon every Saturday talking about hot topics affecting teens in society today. So you want to spend your late Saturday, early afternoon with us right here on Studio W Buzz. And I gotta say, brother Tisdale's song was awesome. That's a hit. That is a hit. I love that song you played when we were, waiting on Mike to come back. It was awesome.
Right. That was his brother, Wayman Tisdale.
Hey, it's a hit. I love that song. That was
Right.
awesome.
He'll be back with us soon. And also, Ann and Mike, we have a brand new YouTube channel, and
Awesome.
it's Studio W The Buzz. Our listen, we want to share it. Mike and Ann, tell all of your friends, your fans, your family to subscribe, leave a comment. That's Studio W The Buzz, Studio W The Buzz on YouTube, and you can go back and hear this show again, okay, in its entirety. And also we're on Spotify. You just type
Awesome.
in the Boomerang radio show. The Boomerang. Type that in on
Right.
Spotify. Oh, and it gets gooder and gooder, Mike. And because Kaven is setting up with us now to be on Apple Podcast.
Oh
We got Apple
wow.
Podcasts. Okay, you just type in the Boomerang Radio Show that uh, Teens Talk Truth or Eden as an Active Worship Ministries radio show. Groove Swing Speaks. We have to also include some of our music shows on that too. We're trying to work out the kinks on that, but our talk shows will be up on that. We're on Google Play, Apple CarPlay, Alexa, and also the website. You can see the audio and video in about 24 hours. Go to studiow.buzz. And Mike, I want you to share with the audience what happens on Thursday night.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know if we can do that. I don't know about the statute of limitations.
Yes, a
Thursday,
Actually,
quorum.
we have a really nice mixture of music from all spectrums that you could ever think of, as long as it's clean. And we intermix, jabbing each other. William and I, Wild Will and Mad Mike, we like having a lot of fun there. So we laugh, we talk about songs. Sometimes it's sad, a lot of times it's very happy. So if you want to enjoy 3 hours of just nice conversation and really good music from any spectrum you can think of, come join us on Thursday nights. Yeah, on the West Coast here, it's 5 to 8. On the East Coast, it's what, 6 to 9.
no, on the East
So
Coast, it's 3 hours ahead. No, it's from 8 to 11.
Wow.
Okay, on the
oh,
East
okay,
Coast.
yeah, okay.
Right,
There
right,
we go.
right.
So,
And
and if
so,
you're in the middle somewhere, do the math and figure it out.
right.
Yeah, Thursday nights, come join us. You'll have a good time, and I'm sure we'll make you laugh. But William
Oh
and I
yeah,
have
laughter.
we purposely have a really good time on that show. So join us.
It's great. And I was thinking about having Mike to tell that joke that he told on Thursday, but I don't think we can tell it on this.
Which
Uh,
one was that?
you know the one
With the
about
picture
you
on the
had it.
nightstand?
Yeah.
That one?
I
Let's not upset the listeners and get bad,
This
comment.
this isn't that bad. This isn't that bad. But I met a gal at the sports page where William sang for the first time, at least under my direction, and she took me home to her place, and we had a fun night, and I noticed she had a picture of a man on her nightstand. And I didn't see this until later, and I thought, oh, geez, am I in trouble here? Because I'm not a cheater. Never cheat. Don't cheat. It'll always come back and get you. Karma is really like brutal. So I asked her. I said, "Hey, who's the guy in the picture? Do you have a husband?" And she goes, "Oh no, that's not my husband." I go, "Is it a boyfriend?" Because now I'm really starting to worry. I'm starting to sweat here, and. And I said, well, it's not a husband, not a boyfriend. Is it like your dad, your brother? I mean, why do you have a picture of a guy on your nightstand? She goes, oh, stop being so silly. That's a picture of me before the operation.
No. Oh my word.
I even got in laughing.
No. No.
So that's the kind of silly. That's the kind of silliness you're going to pick up on Thursday.
Oh my word.
And ladies and gentlemen, with that,
tell me I'm not going to hell, Ann. Please.